Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus Ancient Gladiator with more Pillar Lows tabletop games. Today I bring you Silverton, a game of Colorado railroading. Although, as it covers the Rocky Mountains, it'll go through Utah and New Mexico a bit as well. And then actual business can be done all the way down in Texas for markets. But anyway, in this game, your goal is to develop your claims for various resources of gold, copper, silver, lumber, and coal, and construct railroad tracks connecting those claims to market cities. Denver, Salt Lake City, Pueblo, Santa Fe, and El Paso. So, ultimately, you want to do stuff like, so where's price at? Price is up here. Yeah. Price, where'd it go? There it is. So, you want to build from where you start to those claims, and then you can start. You can operate those claims before you've even built the connecting tracks to generate the resource. However, at some points, you'll deplete your resources, and then once you've delivered the last of those resources from that claim, it's gone. And now you'll have some money to start out with, but it's going to take some planning to decide how to make the most of it. So let's go through the turn sequence. So first we'll deal the turn order cards, numbered 1 to 6. Then prospect and survey. At the start of the game there and throughout there'll be face-up claims cards that you can send your prospectors to go after. And you'll need your surveyors to lay claim to areas where the tracks can be built. And if another player wants to prospect the same thing, then it's going to come down to a die roll to determine who actually gets it. But you have to be able to afford it anyway. And then surveyor, it's possible to, as networks encroach upon each other, there's the chance to get in someone's way. Although I believe this game has a rule about not interfering on certain routes. I want to say like yeah. The build that serves no purpose except to block another player is not allowed. Yeah. Because there are things like passenger routes that'll come into play. Oh yeah, actual passenger routes can be claimed with this contract. I believe it's yeah. I'm sorry. It's been a little while since I last played. passenger route. It's surveyors or prospectors. Prospector. It's prospectors to get passenger routes, right? So you use prospectors to get claims or these passenger routes. You can only claim these if you already have the route built. And if someone has a shorter route, then you, for that passenger route, they can claim it, potentially claim it. Now, it's possible you may not see claims that you like out here. You can take a chance and prospect off the top of the deck. There it is. But that risk comes with the possibility of getting your prospector killed or thrown in jail. So that's a risk. But once that's done, people will spend their money on what they need to buy the claims and contracts, build the track, operate the claims. So the first time you operate a claim, you are considered to have a +6 bonus, and then you roll 1 die, add to it. So this will have 5 coal. In a basic game, players are only allowed to make 2 deliveries from 2 claims to 2 markets, or 1 market. In the advanced game, which is what I prefer, players get trains. What you'll do is you'll use 1 train or combine several together and divide it by the longest section of track in the route. So let's go back to here. So the longest section from Price to Salt Lake City is going to be 6. So a 9 train is only going to let me deliver 1 load. If I have a 9 and a 15 train together, it's 24 divided by 6. I can take 4 coal to Salt Lake City. But before you deliver your loads, you collect passenger revenue. So if you have, let's say I've got Salt Lake City to Provo. I've got the route completed. That's going to pay me $20 every turn. There are some that can be shut down by certain effects, like the Denver to Leadville passenger route is discarded after 4 Leadville depletions. Yeah, some of these locations have multiple claims available, but you can deliver your loads, which get you money according to the selling price chart. And then the resources will go in the respective box until the prices need to be changed. Then after that, any fines that need to be paid for your guys in jail can be done then, or you can try to roll and hope they get out. Most markets are limited. Gold, copper, and silver are unlimited, but it's easy to crash that market. So after everyone's done their turns, prices will be changed based on how much was sold and the increased demand number on the game turn track. And then either 1 or 2 dice. And the final result will affect whether the price goes up or down. As the game gets closer to the end, silver, lumber, and coal will continue to be worth, will end up being worth more value. But Gold and copper are kind of on a crazy market, so the game turn effect is not going to matter. Ultimately, what you're trying to have at the end of the game, what you're trying to do to end the game is have the most money. Some games will go a certain number of turns. Other games will go based on your money. And regardless, having the most money at the end wins. What else can be done? There are winter turns where the white tracks are unusable. There's a rule for snow plows, are included here, to give you a fighting chance to open up that route and get some loads through, but it's not a guarantee. And there's various scenarios, such as the spike scenarios, where you have a train that starts in one city and another train that will start in another city, and they're locked there until you can connect the two together. Let's see. You're limited to 24 of these little route cubes. You can use a surveyor to break down rails you don't need anymore at 10 times the number of the distance. So, say I don't need this one anymore. I want to break it down. I put my surveyor there, and I get $60. So, why do I like this game? Because it's my home. Here I am in Pueblo right now, and that and railroad stuff is interesting. I'd like to explore more with railroads and trains and stuff at some point. And also, it's a business game. I like my money making shit because it's fun. But what I really like is the solo challenge of just trying to develop your rail business and trying to do the best that you can with it. I just like business stuff in general, and this is actually quite an interesting challenge to really figure out. Because you got to invest your money to make more money, but then you got to calculate certain risks of, do I really need to operate this claim? Because I'm only going to make this many deliveries. I need to think about what I'm going to need to spend the money on next turn, like certain routes. Because if I blow all my money this turn and it doesn't work out, then it's kind of a waste. Like I said, either you'll hit the end of the game, or you'll have claims that are just depleted and no good anymore. The question is, how long do I keep running my claims? And also the passenger routes, they're very stable, but they come in stages. So at the start of the game, there'll be like these 8 piles with the C's on the bottom, the B's on top of them, and the A's on top. And then as players get the A routes, the B routes open up. And they cost more to get, but they pay more money each turn. But if they're locked into a winter route, then they're pretty much no good for that turn. Again, unless you use the snowplow. Oh, yeah, I should clarify, these are not the dice that came with the game. The dice that came with the game are wooden, and I believe I've made clear many times my issues with wooden dice. But just replace the dice and game's good to go. So this has been Silverton on Pillarless Tabletop Games. If you can find a copy, definitely get it. It's pretty good. I give it a great recommendation. Thank you for watching. See you next time.